So it seems that revenge stories or revenge plots have been, all the craze these days. And with that being said, let me tell y'all, we have found ourselves quite the gem. Enter Gachiakuta. We are following the story of the homie Rudo, who is known as, for lack of a better terms, a garbage picker. They called him the trash vandal because he would go into the city and steal trash and bring it back to where he's from, which is a trash town in itself. But let's get into specifics because these first 2 chapters were freaking amazing. Not only the story, but the art can tell the story itself. Because man, let me tell you, when they need to convey emotion, whenever Kei Urana needs to convey emotion, they show it in the art. Let me tell you, the paneling is insane. Hopefully it keeps up throughout the whole series. I don't doubt it, but man, let's get into it. So we were following Rudo throughout his daily activities of going through and picking up trash, even though it's not really trash, right? These are just very, very rich human beings who live inside of the wall, who just throw things away when they get a minor alteration to it. As Rudo makes his way home, he does catch a bullet, but that's not gonna stop him because obviously, being on the outside walls, you gotta be tough. But let's get to why they separated the walls, right? So according to some of the people that Rudo got into it with, this place is a place where they would send felons, right? They would send people. It's basically a prison colony. Rudo is the son of, a descendant of murderers. And that's exactly, what his parents were. His parents were murderers and Rudo doesn't play that shit anyway. So he meets up with Chiwa, right? This is a little bit of context. He meets up with Chiwa, who is his love interest at first, right? It was his love interest at first. She fucks with him. She denies all these claims that people be talking shit like, oh, he's a murderer, this, that, and the third. He's the son of a murderer, so he's gonna grow up to be a murderer. She ain't believe that shit. And I mean, come on, man. Rudo is cool as hell. When they call him the son of a murderer and saying like, he gonna be the same as them, this, that, and the third, you see this panel and bro, when I tell you, oh God, this panel tells you everything. Like you start to disrespect him and his family, it's a wrap. And then of course, look at Chiwa being all, yeah, you're not like your parents. He says a corny line like it's not for sale, so I'm giving it to you. And Chiwa gets pulled away by her mom. Now we meet Regto, who we seen a little earlier in the chapter. And Regto is basically the person that has been raising him ever since his parents got thrown into the abyss. And I fuck with Regto's character design, bro. His character design is cold. Regto, as a parent, tries to, scold him a little bit like, look, man, you need to stop. You need to stop going and getting this trash because one of these days they gonna kill you. And Rudo lets him know, like, look, man, I'm doing this because I'm trying to, make a living. An honest living, honest, right? An honest living, and this is for you helping me, taking me in when I had nobody else. And then we see his hands. His parents gave him these scars, like I think they were probably burning his hands because they didn't really give us any context. So I'm assuming like his hands were just burned by his parents. And Regto gave him these gloves, and these gloves have been keeping like his hands. And I don't know what he put into them gloves. They didn't explain any of that, but it was keeping his hands from like painting him. And then we pan out, right? We pan out to this character who's out here with this mask on, and I knew it was trouble, bro. I knew it was fucking trouble. Fast forward, he's at the abyss figuring out like, man, who would end up in the abyss, right? Like even those who haven't committed crime would end up in the abyss. And you watch that criminal get sent to the abyss and you're like, holy shit, bro, why is there just this giant pit in the world, bro? Why is this here? And as the homie Rudo is having like, some like internal conflict about shit, about his parents and all that, here comes Chiwa, little cute ass, like, oh, what you doing over here, Rudo? They have a whole like little love spat, which was kind of cool, right? It was kind of cool. And he gives her the stuffed toy, right? And he runs off like a thief in the night, bro. No pun intended because of where they are. But he runs into the asshole that we seen earlier with the mask on, and they have like a whole little stare off. And y'all see the book, right? The book is what caught my attention first because I was just like, wait, that was the book old dude had going through the city, right? When he was coming back from the city. Dude scurries off and Rudo's like, all right, I gotta go let Regto know like things really went well. Rudo walks in the crib and there is Regto with a motherfucking blade in his chest, bro. And the fucked up part is here come these assholes like, oh, look, he's the one who murdered him. Bro, he going crazy like, it wasn't me type shit. Bro, and this is where things get fucked up, right? This is where things get fucked up. They end up stringing him up, getting ready to drop him into the fucking abyss. And he tells Chiwa, like, it wasn't me. You know, Recto was murdered. And she turned on him, saying, I trusted you, but in the end, you really are the son of a murderer. Even dropped the toy. And look at, bro, when I tell you the art conveyed everything, bro, all the emotion. He went off on them talking about, you know, you're the filthy ones. I'll send you to hell. I'll kill you, bro. This panel, crazy. And by the way, this was recommended by Okubo, you know, the mangaka for Fire Force and Soul Eater. And then he gets sent down into the abyss. And bro, watching this shit, like watching him go down to the abyss was so crazy because you see him falling through the sky. And he ended up in a trash heap. And then he's fucking met by this big ass fucking garbage monster, bro. And that's the end of chapter 1. And then going into chapter 2, like all of chapter 2 was fucking crazy, dog. All of chapter 2 was crazy. Because here he is fighting off these garbage monsters that just keep respawning and shit. Chapter 2 consisted of him fighting, bro. He was fighting off these garbage monsters until he met this random stranger, right? This random stranger who pulled up with a fucking umbrella and got to beating ass, bro. Got to beating ass. And he saved him with this umbrella. It was crazy because the umbrella deflected all the trash that exploded everywhere, all the heavy shit. And I was so confused. I'm like, man, ain't no way. And then we come to find out, bro, he's got this sick ass ability, right? This sick ass ability with this umbrella. And he destroys these monsters quick, right? Fast as hell, easy as hell. And then he takes off his mask and he looks so cool. He looks so cool. His design is sick. And his name is Engine. He said he's just your average janitor. Well, one of the few things that we learned from him is that this is Earth. Where he is now, this is the bottom, right? Like this is the ground. So apparently they're in the sky and we don't know why. We don't understand like why, you know, society was separated like that in the first place. Hopefully we find this out all later because I'm really curious as to how that came to be. But let me tell y'all, Gachiakuta is something that I really recommend. I highly recommend it. If you guys want to get into a brand new manga, this is easily the way to go, right? Easily the way to go. Let me know what your thoughts were for this manga. I will be doing videos on this every week, maybe doing the colors and all that shit, but leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new. If you guys want to see more videos on different types of manga, let me know, because I finally got my hands on a resource that's going to help me further get my hands on some more shit, right? I'm gonna be able to do a whole bunch, and hopefully with your guys' support, we'll be able to continue this trend. But as always, it's your boy, xDomoSenpaix, and I will see you guys in the next video.